So, if I were to move from, say, a low performing site to a
Hmm.
high performing site, let's take the example of pharma or automotive or whatever.
Yeah.
We can take an industry.
Okay.
Uh, Normally, uh, what KPIs really drive this change? Because I want the audience to get a sense of how do I get that change? Because normally, if I'm in an automotive factory, I'll say how many more cars would I produce? Is
Yeah.
that what is important? Or how many different models of cars should I be producing? Then the customization and personalization becomes very, very different.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or if I'm in a pharma factory, I'll say, I can produce 20 lines of different pharma products in
Hmm.
per hour. Okay. So
Yeah.
therefore, I just want them to get a sense of how they define the strategy, and therefore the importance of the digital factory in scaling it. Right? That's very
Yeah.
important.
Yeah. The business case, coming back to the business case, right? The business case is going to be depending on what you're trying to improve. So even within the same company, one factory versus the next factory, the business case may be different. So all those things you listed, reducing the cost, improving the operations efficiencies, improving the uptime of the equipment, product mix, improving the quality, doing it right the first time, improving safety, another one of them. And off late, we also started adding net zero and sustainability. That's also getting added to. Those are some of the key performance targets that the companies are using it. And when you're doing an assessment with some of these digital tools, those are also part of the questions you will start asking to side by side to say, okay, for this side, it may be efficiency. So during my work at Alcoa, when we used to go to different sites, each one had a different issue. One site had a quality issue, another site had a throughput issue. And so each one has to do things differently and had to focus on different KPIs. And so that's becomes a part of the site level assessments. So we talked about vision, corporate strategy, and then we build a corporate roadmap. Now, each site had to build their site level roadmap. And while you're defining it, you also have to define what is important to the site. And in pharma, one site may be producing bulk materials, another site may be taking that bulk material, filling them into small vials. So two different processes, even though it's the same company, they may have two different needs and requirements. So that's where site level assessments comes into play. And the KPIs at the end, the high level, you still are going to look at the reducing cost, quality, improving efficiencies, throughput, availability. So each one will drive different behaviors within the site.
So if you look at KPIs, when you define them, is directly related to what the business needs are and what the business challenges are. So if you are somebody in technology or in engineering, the fact that when you design KPIs, they need to understand the business problem, the business challenge, and therefore how do you define the KPI becomes a very important skill that you need to build over time. The KPIs that he talks about, go back and listen, and you will realize that most of them first are business issues. The business issues then get converted into data, and the data then gets massaged and analyzed to deliver that KPIs. And he also talks about the importance of linking a corporate strategy with a vision at the higher end and to a site level vision, which is to say, you know what, hey, I want to really improve my throughput. I want to improve my efficiency. I want to really build, one product at a time, and that I need to do at scale. Now, each site, depending on the investments that have been made over the past many years, because he talks only about few green fields getting set up, lot of them being brown fields. So in many projects, you enter when they are brown fields, and when it's a brown field and when you want to innovate, you incrementally chip your way through, and that's really how you will be able to show a difference and value to the enterprise.